than 2 days after the President's proposed amendments to the Finance Bill of 2019 sailed through the National Assembly, President Uhuru Kenyatta has assented the bill into law. Now, whereas the final bill signed by the President is not yet public, we take a look at what this could potentially mean for the economy.
The ink has met the paper, and the signature carling of the President's pen has turned the Finance Bill of 2019 into the Finance Act. The bill, as assented to by President Uhuru Kenyatta, seeks to unlock an additional 37 billion shillings in tax revenue in the government's bid to finance the ambitious 3 trillion shillings 2019-2020 budget. Let's take a look at some of the expected changes. First, interest rates commercial banks will charge for loans are to be pegged on how likely a borrower is to default on their repayment, as opposed to what has been the case presently, where it has been capped on a ceiling of the benchmark rate of the central bank. The Kenya Bankers Association says it anticipates interest rates to go as high as 16% from the existing maximum of 13%. This is in response to the fear that the high interest charged before the rate caps came into effect could return to the market. Second, with the Finance Act of 2019 in place, the proposal to impose taxes on the digital economy has been given impetus by the full force of the law. As such, the National Treasury is now expected to table regulations on how this taxation is expected to be done. This is set to impact the country's growing e-commerce space, which has emerged as a source of income for many youth. Many are keen to see what the regulations stipulate for the mobile lending apps, which currently are unregulated and considered a very dicey space. A third implication is the amendment of Section 2 of the Value Added Tax Act. This means that value-added tax on all imported services is now payable by any person, as opposed to the previous case where it only affected VAT-registered persons. This is bound to have an impact on entities which source personnel or services from outside Kenya, particularly in the financial services sector and the non-governmental organization space. Business offering catering, cleaning and security services will now come under the radar of the taxman. This follows the adjustments to the Income Tax Act, which rendered these businesses subject to withholding tax as the state looks to increase tax revenue to meet shortfalls.
Bill number 51 of 2019.
In light of the circumstances under which the bill received the Parliament's green light, members of the National Assembly stand accused of acting as puppets, with the executive being the ventriloquist, pursuing the interests of the executive as opposed to those of ordinary citizens who voted them in. According to the Public Finance Management Framework, the finance bill should be passed within 90 days after the budget. Now, this year, there's been a massive delay, and because of that, the National Treasury is now proposing that in the next budget cycle, the finance bill should be passed alongside the budget by June 30th, 2020. Julian's Amboko, NTV.